Good morning. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us here at Earth and Sky. And those of you joining us online, we appreciate you tuning in to our life talk today. Today we are talking about new moon magic. We have a few exciting things to talk about with that. But first, if you haven't already, please hit that like button on our Facebook page and hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you like our videos, we really appreciate you sharing it out with your friends and family as well. If you have any comments or suggestions for us, please go ahead and include that in the comments section down below. And if you're interested in joining us for classes, we have 2 more of the chakra classes coming up. We've been working our way through the full spectrum of the chakras, and on April 23rd, which is a Monday evening, we'll be talking about the crown chakra, which is really a wonderful time to come learn about how you can have that divine energy flow right into you, how to open that part of yourself. And then the following week, April 30th, we'll be talking about the origin chakra, which is around the feet, and the universal protection chakra, which is around the knees. So I'd love to have all of you come and join us for that. That's at Revived Wellness Spa, which is in Flushing, Michigan. They are a fantastic place too. Currently, actually through April and in May as well, they've been collecting donations for Alley Cat Angels too, which some of you may know is my foundation. It's near and dear to my heart because I love stray cats. They matter in our world. Community cats have a big place and a big role in society, and it's up to us to take care of them, and it's very simple to take care of them. Get them all spayed and neutered. There are many, many wonderful services for that. Currently, we have a grant to get cats spayed and neutered for free at All About Animals. So if you have community cats you need to get fixed, contact All About Animals. If you're interested in donating to help us out at Alley Cat Angels, go ahead and head on down to Revive Wellness Spa, and we have our donation list there. They have so many great services there as well. Kirsten is the owner, and she does a wonderful job doing healings. They lead meditation twice a week there and have many different classes, including my chakra class on Monday evening. So I will hope that you'll go down and check them out if you're in the local area in Flushing, Michigan. And with that, we're going to head on right on into New Moon Magic, which flows actually with the announcements because the new moon is all about new beginnings. So if you're looking for new things, it's great to go out and make new connections at new places. So New Moon Magic, we've been talking a lot through the year already. It's hard to imagine we're a quarter of the way into this year already. It certainly doesn't feel like that. But last year we talked a lot about the wheel of the year. This year we're talking about all of the 8 seasons of the moon. Yes, there are 8 full cycles. A lot of people think of the full moon and the new moon, but there's 8 cycles to make the wheel of the moon complete. And so last week we were talking about the waning gibbous moon, and we have yet to cover the waning crescent moon. But this week we're talking about the new moon. So with the waning gibbous moon, a lot of that is that you're going from releasing it after you reach the full moon, and you have the moon who's been, pregnant with all of these wonderful things that she's manifesting, and she's birthing it into reality, and you're seeing the goals that you've created, and you're seeing everything achieved and manifest in front of you as you're consciously creating using the moon. Then you have to go from that beautiful cycle of fullness to releasing, because anytime you create and you're welling up this wonderful abundance of things, then you also have to create space, because when you create space, then you have the ability to draw in the new. And so as the moon is waning, meaning she's going from her full brilliant white body of light down to the lower and lower light, meaning that the earth is simply moving in front of her, then you're starting to go into that cycle of releasing. And as you start releasing, once you release those first things, then you're going to start going into releasing some of the unconscious, and you start looking into the shadow self, and you start delving and looking deeper, which is in the crone aspects as you get into that smaller crescent waning moon. And then you reach the exciting point of of the new moon. And with the new moon, she's still there just as much as she is with the full moon. She's still a celestial body up in the sky, but it's very hard to see her. If you look closely, you can see that outline of where she is, even though the earth has moved in front so that she's in shadow. But this is the time to look within yourself and see what you want to plant. So as the earth has created a shadow over the moon, it's time to look into the shadows of yourself, to look into those deeper aspects and see what you can pull out. What aspects have you not addressed within yourself that you want to pull out so that you can then plant seeds for what you want? Because a big part of releasing and letting go is so that you create that space. Well, in the new moon's light, we've created that space, or the absence of light as it may be. We've created that space. So you have a blank palette. The new moon is actually today, Sunday, and so you can use this time to really go within and figure out what you want. So you've gone through the phase of releasing, you've gone through figuring out what you want to let go of, you've gone through figuring out what aspects of yourself do you not see normally, and brought those aspects up into the light so that you can fully decide how you want to consciously create your life. And so use this new moon energy, which is a day or so before the new moon starts, and the full day of the new moon, and then a day or so after the new moon energy, because it's that continuous cycle. And use that energy to really go within and figure out what you're planting. And it's such an exciting time because you have a blank canvas in front of you. If you're seeing yourself as an artist, this is your time to pull out your paintbrushes and look at this blank slate that you have in front of your life and paint down, put down whatever colors you want. Create, write, put down what it is you want to bring into your life, and just see it as a time to create yourself. You yourself mirror the moon. So see yourself as a blank canvas, as this blank slate, ready and eager and waiting to be planted in. As we go into the waxing crescent, it'll be more about really planting those seeds and actually getting them in so that they can, so you can water your seedlings, so you can start having them come up. But this is the time to really look into that soil that you've just tilled within your life and figure out what you're putting there. Be very specific about it. Be very conscious about it. The more specific you are about it, the more conscious you are, the more you write it down, the more detail you get, the more you're going to create. Because so many people talk about concepts that they want in life. They want to be happier, they want to be wealthier, they want to be have a good life, are the terms that they use. But what does that mean to you? How can you narrow that down? What does it mean to have a good life? What does it mean to be happy? What is your version of wealthy? What are the specifics that you would put in with that? These are the times to really narrow those down and plant those into the ground. And there's some fun rituals that you can do to really solidify that too. We're human beings, which means we're in 3D and we're in our bodies, and we're on this earth in a physical realm, which means we should utilize those tools that reiterate the fact that we are in a physical body, that we're tangible, that we're on this earth physically. So doing things physically to work towards creating those goals is really going to help solidify it and bring it into your life. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. This is a time really to think about making a wish. Figure out first what your wish is. Be specific about what your wish is. Some people would see this as a time of making a vow. Maybe this is a time you want to make a promise to yourself. Maybe you haven't been treating yourself as good as you should, or maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself the way you should. So maybe this is a time to promise to do better for yourself, to watch out for yourself a little bit more possibly, and to really take care of that. This is also an excellent time for releasing, doing those final things to release and break any bad habits that you have. It can be just as much about releasing bad habits. So it's a little bit different energy than that releasing as the moon goes from the full down to the new. This is a time if you have things that are really affecting you in life. If you're really wanting to let go of drinking alcohol, or if you have negative thoughts, if you're really harsh on yourself, or you have toxic people in your life, or any of those things and you want to break and release those, this is equally as good a time for that, because that is consciously creating, because those require very specific steps to release and to let them go. So you can, decide what it is you're wanting. Is your goal to release something that's a toxic habit or a toxic thought within your brain, or are you wanting to create and manifest something, and you're wanting to bring something up that's a tangible thing, or a change of thought within yourself as well. So figure out, narrow down what it is. That's your step one. And this is a great time to start a new project too, and that project can be something that is a physical project that you're doing, work-wise or personally or anything like that, or you can see the goals that you're creating as being a project. And sometimes for some people, if you see the goal that you want to manifest, the change that you want to make internally, if you see that as a project, for some people that makes it easier. For other people, depending on how your brain works, that might make it harder. So figure out what vocabulary works for you. There's a lot to do about terminology and figuring out what words resonate to you to make it so that it's enjoyable and it's something that you know that you can do. So that first step is narrowing down, write down what it is that you're wanting to create with this new moon. What seeds are you wanting to plant? And then taking a ritual bath can really help. The moon's energy is so full of such life, and it's a very emotional type of an energy as well. It can be a very cleansing type of an energy. It's a very powerful type of energy too. So if you decide to take a ritual bath at the new moon, it's a wonderful way to start your new moon magic, because you can cleanse and release all of the stuff you've been working on up through this stage, because we've gone from the full moon down to the waxing. So you've been doing that releasing, and you've been doing that letting go and looking into the shadow self. So take a ritual bath where you just add some salt into the bath. You can either put some sage in the bath or some lavender. If you want to throw some essential oils in, you can do that. Himalayan sea salt, Epsom salt, any type of salt is very good. It's very cleansing and clearing. Just as it reduces inflammation within the body, it also takes away that swelling of thoughts that that shouldn't be there. It takes away and releases all of that. So you can just see it all going down the drain as you release your bath. So taking that, you can even put selenite dust in the bath. That's a wonderful way to work with the moon magic, because selenite is very, very attached to lunar energy. Put on some quiet music and just work on releasing everything that's gone on through the past month. Release, let go of any tension, let go of any worry. Reflect on what you've done through the last month too, because this is that as we're entering into this phase, you're moving from big parts of the cycle. You're moving from the releasing into the planting. You have that clean slate. So start with just this is the last of your releasing work as you do that ritual bath, and you just let all of that go down, see it washing away soothingly, and just allow your body to feel refreshed and to feel renewed. Sometimes if you've had a massage, sometimes after a massage you just feel like you're brand new. You feel like everything has just been erased and cleaned and it's a fresh start. Well, use the bath as that same purpose. It's an easy thing that you can do in the comfort of your own home, and just see yourself as renewed and refreshed, almost as though you're being born anew at that in a way, as you're letting all of the worry, anything that has stressed you, just wash away. Anything that you feel like has held you back, see all of those things washed away. Be very conscious about it and think about what it is you're releasing, and then as you drain the bath water, just watch it all get washed away. Know that it's being carried away. It's carried away from you, away from your house, all the way out, far, far away. You can just use that even in meditation, that to just know that that is completely releasing from you. And then when you feel like you have that clean slate and you know that you are now that blank canvas and it's time to paint onto yourself, what it is you're creating in your life. So you become the artist, you become the creator, the manifester of your destiny. And so the next thing you're going to want to do is sit down and start to prepare your thoughts and really narrow in on what it is you are thinking about that you want to create in your life. And it doesn't have to be something that will come very quickly. A lot of times I've been talking about the lunar cycles. You know, it's 28 days can come and go pretty quickly. 14 days of that is creating, and 14 days of that is releasing in varying cycles. But this can be something you continue to build on for many months, or it can be something that you use this energy to very powerfully draw to you much quicker what it might have seemed like would have taken a much longer time. So never limit yourself with your thinking either. And so write down what it is that you are creating. You might want to light a candle, because candles can be very powerful and transformative as well. That flame transcends and, you know, turns into smoke. So if you're wanting to write something down, if you feel like you're struggling with finishing releasing it, then you can burn whatever you need to release with the flame. You know, have that paper up to the candle and allow that paper just to burn and be released. Most likely, if you've been following this lunar magic, then you've already done a lot of that releasing just leading up to this point. So as you're looking at that candle flame, just see it as empowering you. See that element of fire that brings passion. Fire is such a strong energy for evoking passion. It can help you evoke the direction. If you're struggling with knowing what you're wanting to bring into your life, then that candle can help bring in that inspiration. Air is the element of inspiration. So the candle ties in both with passion, which is fire, and inspiration, which is air. So you're bringing both of those in with that flame. And so as you're writing down the thoughts, begin to ground yourself. So really feel the earth under your feet. Really focus on noticing how your feet feel as they're connected to the ground. Can you notice that all the parts of your feet are connected to the ground? Do you feel your heel and your toe and the ball of your foot? Notice how everything feels, and then start working that energy up through your body as well, noticing how every aspect of your body feels. And then as you get to the crown of your head, begin to focus on that moon energy and feel as though you're drawing that moon energy down into yourself. Because as you've focused on grounding and you've noticed how your body feels as you're connecting down into the earth, then you're solidifying yourself. And you can allow your thoughts to feel as though your energy is going straight down into the earth as well. It feels very strong and stable. If you focus and you draw your awareness and you go internal and you feel as though maybe you'll see your legs as roots of a tree that are connected down into the earth, and that wonderful grounding energy. Once you feel that, then you're going to draw your awareness continuing to move up through your body and just focus on the moon ahead. And it doesn't have to be night. For me, I feel like I can focus on the moon a lot better at night. I feel like I connect more with the energy at night, but the moon's around us all the time. So if you prefer to do it during the day, you can do it during the day. But just imagine you can feel the moon right above your head. And within your mind, visualize the moon in her shadow form. So you just see that light illuminating around the edges, but you see that she's in shadow, and knowing that even though you can't see her, she's still fully there, can be very powerful in learning to trust in the process of life as well. Because even though you don't always see the answers, and even though you don't always see what you want to see in front of you in life, you can trust that it's going to be okay, and you can trust that the answers will come, and you can trust that the resources you're seeking will come. And a lot of that comes from just looking up at the moon that way. And so feeling her above you and allowing your thoughts to process all of that energy, processing that trust, processing that confidence, which can then build confidence within yourself as well as you begin to draw that moon energy down into you. So as you are focusing on all of those thoughts and you just begin to notice the moon above your head, and sometimes it helps to go out at night. I really prefer to be outside with it at night. and just feel as though you're drawing that moon energy down into you. Once you get a good feeling of seeing her up in the sky, and just feel as though you can feel that soft energy. It's a very feminine energy, a very soft yet powerful at the same time energy, and allow that emotion that comes through the moon, allow that love that comes through the moon to just wash through you. I feel the moon a lot of times when I reach up to her. I just feel a very strong, like an unconditional love energy, an unconditional, strong creative force energy, but very, very gentle. It's a different type of energy than the earth, where the earth is a very strong and stable, nurturing mother energy. The moon feels like a very fluid, very flexible, very creative, emotional, yet very solid and centered in love energy. So notice as you go outside with the new moon energy and see how that feels. Allow yourself to feel as though you're drawing that moon energy all the way down through each of your chakras. And so focus on it as it comes into contact with each of the chakras, because as you do that, you're literally connecting up to her. Your energy is limitless, and the moon's energy is very expansive as well. And so just focus on seeing how it feels as it reaches each of the chakras. Notice how it feels in the crown. Notice how it feels in the third eye. Notice how it feels in the throat. And as you draw it through each one, you might even want to focus on how you can use the connection of the moon energy with each of the chakras to bring about what it is that you're wanting. So if you're wanting more love in your life, then you might want to focus on feeling that unconditional aspect of the moon as it flows in through the crown, which is the connection to divine love, and as it flows into the third eye, which is your insight and your intuition. So knowing that you can trust when you meet people, knowing that you can trust yourself to know who to trust, and knowing to trust yourself when those little feelers go up on the back of your neck too, knowing that you can trust yourself and opening that moon energy into your intuition, and then feeling it as it goes into the throat chakra, which is your center for truth and your ability to speak your truth. And you have to know your truth to speak your truth. So when you draw that moon energy into your throat, you're really drawing up the ability to find your emotional voice as well, because it has that emotional undercurrent and that fluid and that intuitive undercurrent with the moon. And feel that with each chakra. Same thing as you go into the heart with your love, and the solar plexus, which is your confidence center. As you draw the moon into the solar plexus, the energy will often shift because the lower chakras are very grounded and very earth-oriented, and the upper chakras are very celestial. So play with this and notice as you draw the moon into your solar plexus, see how that energy feels. Notice if you can feel as though you've drawn the moon right into your solar plexus, and see how that shifts that center of confidence, that center of mental and emotional balance is right within the solar plexus. And then once you feel like you can really feel her energy there, then draw it down into this sacral chakra, which is your creative center, which is the womb, which also will flow really well with the moon then, because the moon is that feminine energy and that feminine aspect. So drawing it into the womb and that creative center might feel very natural. It might feel as though it can just rest in there. And then draw it down to the root chakra, which is your connection to the earth, which will bring in a very strong ability for you to manifest. Very, very powerful with the new moon, because the root chakra is a center for manifesting physically and tangibly. And then the new moon energy is all about new beginnings. So if you're creating something new specifically, it is so powerful to draw that new moon light right on into the root chakra so that you manifest quickly and you're drawing it into the tangible. That's the area that's really a key gateway to move it from just being an abstract concept into a physical aspect that manifests in the 3D realm immediately. And then focus on drawing it on down into the chakra at the knees, that layer of universal protection. And notice how you feel surrounded and protected by the angels that are around you at all times. And notice as you draw it down into your feet, it might feel as though it's going right on out into the cosmos, because that's the origin chakra that connects out to the cosmos. It might feel very similar to when you drew it into the crown as when you have it in the feet. There is a difference between it, but you might feel that familiar sensation and then go ahead and allow yourself to let it move right on out through the earth and into the earth and out of the earth, feeling that circuit that you create within yourself then too. As you go into the next part of the manifesting meditation, just feel that balance. You might feel as though energy begins to rock between your feet and your head, and notice how rhythmically you have completely balanced yourself. This is a fantastic way also to get rid of any anxiety or nervousness or fatigue, because it's grounding and uplifting at the same time. And so if you're continuing to use this with consciously creating in your life, you can use this in so many different ways. And so if you're creating something really big, if you're focusing on wanting something big that you really want to physically see these changes in your life, if you're wanting to do something like you're working on bringing love into your life, and you wouldn't want to do it with having a specific person in mind per se. If you're trying to bring love in, you just want to bring in the concept of love. But you can do this using that all the steps that we've talked about so far, and then write that concept, unconditional love, or whatever the ideals are for you of love. Write that on a piece of paper, and then add some essential oils to it that will enhance love. And then put it in a bag, maybe with some lavender and rose petals. Some selenite would be really powerful to have with that. And then put that bag somewhere that you're going to see it regularly. Because when you do the magic at the new moon, you don't want to just do it that night and then forget about it and go on with the rest of your work week and everything else that happens in life, and then expect that when the moon comes full that it will happen, because we have to have action steps behind everything we do in all aspects of life. And one of the things that you can do to keep it in the forefront of your mind is take that bag where you put whatever you put in it. If it's, love, then the rose quartz, selenite, lavender, rose petals, things like that would be wonderful. If you're looking for finances or wealth, then things like jade and silver and selenite, or jade, silver, and quartz, things like that would be really good. But put that in a bag that you see all the time. So maybe it'll be on your dresser, so when you wake up in the morning, you see that bag and you remember the work that you did at the new moon. And it is a reminder that as the moon is then waxing and as she begins to build again, that all of that magic that you've created, that you've set into motion, that is building right along with the moon. And it's continuing to build as your thoughts continue to grow with what it is that you are bringing into your life. And so it's not that it will just automatically create it without physical work on our end either, because we're in physical bodies for a reason. So you're doing a lot of physical work just by attuning yourself to these energies and by very consciously doing this ritual to create and draw in the new moon energies. But you'll also want to have some action steps that you can take to follow it through in a standard way as well. And what happens with the magic of the new moon, though, is it will create a lot of very valuable coincidences. So much so that you'll know that it's not just standard coincidence. And so you'll have a lot of things that start to fall into place. People will start to fall into place in a way that you have resources maybe that you didn't have before. Or you might, if you're looking for money, you might have checks that come from places that you didn't realize they were coming from. Or perhaps you'll meet somebody that can help you with creating a connection so that you can do what your passion is and then begin to make money doing what your passion is. So you have to be open to wherever these coincidences will come from and be observant as well, because a lot of times when the universe sends signs and sends these wonderful coincidences, you need to make sure you're watching for them too, because you don't want to ask for it and then not notice as the opportunities come to you. So notice when the opportunities come in and seize those opportunities, and then have gratitude as well. So afterwards, recognizing that that work that you did at the new moon, you're seeing the fruition, you're seeing the seeds as they come in, you're seeing that bag that you create that you've imbued with all of the powers of the new moon, so that it reminds you that as you look up in the night sky and you see her getting fuller, more full and more full and more full, that your dreams are coming into life because you are consciously creating this. And And sage is also another great thing to use at the full moon. So sage is wonderful for cleansing and clearing and releasing and opening to create space for new beginnings. So anything that you want to use to work towards creating the new beginnings is really what you want to focus on at this time. Selenite always works great with the moon. So sage to clear, selenite to perhaps clear, also enhance. And opening that crown chakra, drawing the moon into you. Don't be afraid to state your intentions aloud as well. That once you write it down, speaking it out loud can be very powerful too. Vibration and sound are very powerful. That's why I use the Tibetan bowls and the gongs, because the vibration is very powerful. You get that same vibration through your voice, and your voice is so close to you. Every time you talk, you're vibrating the cells within you. So if you're speaking out loud what your goals are, then you're able to create that vibration within yourself, which is going to enhance the cellular memory so that you can create what it is you're looking for. So also make sure you give gratitude to yourself at the end of this, at the end of any of the rituals that you do for the moon. Give gratitude to yourself, give gratitude to the moon, give gratitude to the cosmos, give gratitude to the results that you know are going to come, and give gratitude to the results that you've already seen. And have fun. That's the biggest thing with working with the Moon Magic too, is just have fun with it. Enjoy yourself. Know that you are a canvas and you can paint yourself to be whatever it is you want to be. There are no rules for it. Just enjoy and have fun with this wonderful new moon energy. So if you have any thoughts or questions, we always like seeing that in the comments down below, and we appreciate you sharing this video out to your friends and family as well. I do hope to see you in class on Monday, April 23rd for the Crown Chakra class, Monday, April 30th for the Origin and Universal Protection Chakra class, and then we will hopefully be doing aura photos in May. So please remember to like and share this video, and like and share our Facebook and YouTube pages as well. Thank you and have a great day.